my motivation wasn't there. Having a routine I think is really important. I feel like when I work out in the morning, I actually don't feel tired during the day. It's really funny because I realise that my team has probably seen me in active wear more so than my work clothes now, because we go to the gym so much. In order to work really well, you've got to take care of yourself. We're getting very successful lawyers who are younger now, so they kind of look at, what's really important. If you feel confident in yourself because of the way you look, you can actually do your work properly, better sometimes.
Today we are here with Fiona Wong, number 89 member at Lockeroom. So we've known each other now for probably just over 9-10 months. I think you've been at the gym. It's been awesome. You joined with your business partner Troy at your firm. So today we're going to talk about business, we're going to talk about health and a bit about your lifestyle, not just in the gym but outside of the gym. So why don't you start with just introducing what you do with your work?
So I'm a partner at Gilton, Valeo lawyers. It's a corporate immigration law firm. So what we do is we help businesses with bringing skilled labour into Australia. We also help them strategise in terms of how to bring skilled talent, how to retain and attract talent into Australia as well.
So this would be, I guess, would have gone crazy with COVID as well. So it would be larger companies that want to bring, is it a particular type of worker from overseas? Is it like from Asia, from Europe, or just like any skilled labour overseas? We help with getting them in the country.
It's any actually, so it really depends on the business. So if the business is, so most of our work actually comes from tech companies. Afterpay, we have Salesforce. You know, here's some like Twitter. Some
so
really
big companies.
Really big organisations. A lot of the tech companies actually use us to help them with bringing their skilled labour into Australia.
I assume this has been your career since you graduated university?
Worked in radiology for about 3 years, and then I decided, okay, I'm going to go to law school. Did law, and then I loved it. Fell into immigration, and I did a lot of like review work, etc. And then I was like, you know what, I want to be this big lawyer where I want to do like, you know, corporate stuff. I want to do like mergers and acquisitions. So I went and did all that. So I worked at Deloitte, moved into the M&A team, and I went, I don't like this.
So was it the work or the lifestyle? What didn't you like?
I think it's more the lifestyle. I remember finishing at midnight and still having to go for a drink downstairs with someone just to make sure, you know, everything's all good. That just didn't work for me. So I decided that I wanted to go and go back to immigration because I realised I loved it. And then I met Troy. And then we started doing this together. A few years in, decided to continue to pursue it and got made partner.
Amazing. Okay, so I would love to talk about the contrast between when you were your daily routine and how your health fit into it, when you had the crazy hours doing the M&A law and the stuff you're talking about before at Deloitte, to what it's like now. Assuming now you've got a bit more of a balance with stuff.
I've pretty much, I did exercise all through my life. But it was very inconsistent. For about 10 years ago, I'd probably say, I tried to exercise after work, but given the long hours, there's never actually an opportunity for you to go, I'm going to go after work. You didn't know what time you'd finish work.
So you could never have an appointment or anything like that?
No. It was extremely inconsistent. So having a routine, I think, is really important.
And what did you notice, like, what were the effects on your body, your health, your energy in not having a routine like that and being really inconsistent?
Well, when you're inconsistent, it means that you don't have an idea of when you're going to work out next. And so you might go 0 times in 1 week, and then you will go 3 times the next week. You might go 5, and then you go none. The only problem is I found that every single time I didn't go for a couple of weeks, going back to the gym was extremely difficult. My motivation wasn't there. It was a really tough workout. I'd work out and I'd feel sore all over. And I don't think that really worked out well for me.
And that is the situation most people, I think, find themselves in, where it's like 0 week, 3, 1, 0, 6.
And I think finding a routine is actually the most important part of your health. It's like eating properly, or sleeping properly. It's about, creating a routine, or even working properly. If you find a routine in your life, then you'll know you can fit everything in. It helps me fit in my work as well. Yeah, because if I know, I'm going at this time, then I can stick all my meetings in at the right time as well.
Fast forwarding to now, I guess you're a partner, so maybe I'm not sure, maybe you have a little bit more control over your schedule, and you obviously come into the gym. I see you quite often coming into the gym. So with as little or as much detail as you can share, what's your rough routine from when you wake up to when you go to bed on a good day?
Yeah. So I would probably wake up around 7 o'clock. I get a light rail in. So I get a light rail into the office, drop my stuff down, and then I head over to the gym at 8:55.
Cool. So first thing you do is you basically go to the gym.
Pretty much, yeah. I really like morning workouts.
Cool.
It just gets it out of the way, and I know that I can actually set that routine. And what happens is that I've actually blocked out my calendar now from 8 o'clock to wanting to take a shower as well, so to about 10. So no one can book any meetings into my calendar, and I will not book anything into my calendar during that time as well. So get the morning workout out of the way.
How many days a week is that?
3 to 4.
So most days travel in, gym, and then you start your work.
Correct. I work from home on the Thursday. So it's always Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at the gym.
Okay, cool. And then do you do anything else from, I guess, 10 o'clock to when you go to bed at night, whether it's food related, hydration related, anything else you do, you're like, oh, this is part of my kind of health and fitness routine?
So right after the gym, if we're doing strength training, we actually go downstairs. There's a juice shop, and then you get a protein shake there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's mandatory.
So start it off right, and then anything else throughout the day? Do you prepare your meals? Do you carry around bottles of water? Anything else that people can do that I guess are also busy working all day?
Yeah, I think hydration is really important. We have, our water bottle that we always take around everywhere with us. I probably don't take care of my eating habits as well as most people, but I think I'm genuinely a very healthy person though. I don't snack. I don't drink soft drinks, and I don't really eat fried foods. So I didn't think that I needed to look into eating, changing my eating habits. I think it would help if I did. I think, if you wanted to set certain goals, then 100%, you need to count your macros or whatever people do. I just haven't been doing that, but I might look into it.
Well, the amazing thing is I find is that people don't realize as long as you get 85-90% of the way there, you can do a lot without those details. If you're this is what you said, generally avoiding the bad stuff that people just know is pretty obviously not very good for you. And you work out 3-4 days a week and you're very consistent, like you said, you've taken the 90% off the table. And everything else is pretty smaller. What about alcohol? Because I know alcohol, like all industries, is in that industry as well. Is it something you've had to change? What's your relationship with it?
I think it's pretty hard when you work in an industry where there is, because we meet a lot of people and
clients and
and you do a lot of networking as well, and so it's always really hard.
What do you mean hard? You mean hard to not drink too much, not too frequently?
Not to drink too much. I think. When you're out, meeting people, they usually they get a bottle of wine and you share it, sort of thing. I think it's just knowing how much is, I guess when to stop. When you go, oh, I've had 2 glasses and I think I'm done for today. It is very difficult. I find that very difficult for myself. I think that I can do a little bit better in that sense, but I haven't actually really controlled that side.
Okay. Do you notice that when you're drinking more, maybe this time of year in December, do you find that there's, you notice the difference when you're drinking more or drinking less?
Oh, absolutely. You have moments where you had a night out, you're going out networking, and then the next day you go, okay, can I actually go and do my morning workout? Right?
Because your energy's off, everything's off.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think there are those times when I, contemplate, should I do it? Can I do it? I have missed maybe 1 or 2 sessions sometimes where because I've had a big night out and you go to yourself, damn it, I really wish I had gone. But I know that it's probably not very healthy for you to go when you're feeling that way as well.
That's true. Yeah, which is like it not only messes up your motivation to go, it kind of messes up your recovery in going in the first place, which is why I find for Lockeroom, and it's one of the biggest obstacles.
Yeah.
Is along with like family and kids, alcohol is one of the biggest obstacles that business owners just have to just confront.
Yeah.
So most people, they want to keep it part of their routine, that's fine.
Yeah.
Not get rid of it completely. But it's an obstacle.
And it changes the rhythm, as I was saying,
Yeah.
your routine.
Yeah.
And I think if we need to know what we want to do in our week, these are things that we need to look out for.
Yeah. And is there anything that you've noticed you had to change as your career has progressed? Maybe something that has different, say, compared to when you were in your 20s working to now? Like, do you find you have to take care of yourself anymore? You need to your sleep needs to be more on point. Any changes you've noticed over time?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And metabolism.
Yeah.
As female as well. And as you get over the age of 30 and you're reaching 40s, your metabolism's definitely slowed down. I remember in my 20s, I can eat anything I like.
Yeah.
I used to do like 5 or 6 meals, big meals, like an actual meals, and wouldn't even gain any weight.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now, even if you watch what you eat, even if you watch what you drink, it's your metabolism has definitely slowed down.
Yeah.
And so you do need to do a lot more, like work out a little bit more. Be very careful with what you eat and how you exercise.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what you find is like you definitely can stay in shape. It's just it's harder.
Yeah.
It's harder than it was when you were in your 20s. So tell me, I want to switch to your priorities and where you see it. Most business owners we find, because they do have a lot of goals outside of their fitness and health can slip down on their priority list. Maybe they've got like work, obviously a career, and then they've got family. A lot will have like social life, which kind of mixed in with the work often as well. Some might even have hobbies, and it can really start to get pushed down. Where does it sit for you? Is it something that you've changed over time in terms of health with your whole life priorities?
I definitely think it's changed.
Yeah.
I think I prioritized, work and social life a lot more before.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason why I didn't put health as important. But now I think it's really important because it says if you don't have good health, you won't be able to do your work well. Because I think it's kind of helps with your mind. It helps with you knowing what you're going to be doing next and setting that routine. But at the same time, it clears your mind as well. Like I feel like when I work out in the morning, I actually don't feel tired during the day. Before, when I used to not work out in the morning and I go to work, I feel really tired. And I don't think that I can think properly or I can manage my workload properly. But it's definitely changed a lot.
And knowing how it affects you, we were talking just offline a little bit about how your office is really fit, like your whole company is really fit.
Yeah.
So it's important. How do you think that has trickled down into the whole culture of your company? And I guess even how you would approach a staff member that is like low energy, maybe not performing, and never works out.
It's really funny because I realized that my team has probably seen me in fitness, like active wear, more so than my work clothes now, because we go to the gym so much.
Yeah.
So 3 to 4 times a week, walk in the office at around 10 o'clock and, you're in your workout outfit.
Yeah.
And so I think that kind of motivates them as well.
Cool.
To go, okay, you went to the gym this morning.
Yeah.
I want to, because they aspire to, people that they work for.
Yeah.
Right? So
and
they want to be partner one
as
day,
well.
of course, yeah. And I think I want to give them that motivation as well.
Yeah.
To go, you got to, in order to work really well, you got to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And so I think that's motivated a lot of them to actually, go to work out. And look, they're really fit in general. Like, I know all of them work out. They go to the different gyms. They actually, do different sports as well. But I think like the fact that we go, they often go to me, sometimes they come up to me and go, "Oh, Fiona, I actually didn't go to my gym session this morning. I feel like I need to go tomorrow because you look like this today." And so that's a good thing. For those who don't actually go, we often it's a bit harder because it's sort of, it's sort of a thing where you don't know what people's situation is in life. You don't know what their health situation is either. So the motivation is we want you to look after yourself. The reason why we're telling you this because we're actually prioritizing our health. So we want you to prioritize your health too. And if you do prioritize your health, you will actually see the results in your work as well.
But it sounds like there's nothing like you just going to the gym is way more powerful than you putting it on like your core values or whatever for the company. Just seeing you do it is like, that makes the biggest difference.
Yeah, I mean, a picture paints 1,000 words, right? I think people see you walking into the office and you're like, oh, you actually worked out. You don't have to go and tell the world, hey, I just worked out. You're not going to do that.
Of course.
Yeah, so I think we do promote it as part of our culture. We go, look, you got to look after yourself. You got to, ensure that you stay healthy. We have an amazing culture. And how we do it is that we have sometimes we have like team bonding events which are actually activity based. So we had a couple of weeks ago an amazing race. Scavenger hunt type, activity. We're running around the city. But you can tell when people are matched up into different pairs how they also feel because of how active that partner is. And so it's the same thing. It's sort of like, oh, you're looking at it as in I'm looking for a healthy colleague to work with, not just because of whether they work out or not, or whether they can run or not, but also it helps you with their mental health as well. You can tell there's a balance. When you're healthy, your mental health is healthy as well.
For sure. I always thought it was one thing. It's like a tangent, but even with like the political leaders, prime ministers and stuff like that, like because they often have health agendas, and I'm like, if you just stayed in shape, that would set the best example there is. Because there's some elements where you're like, oh, well, if the Prime Minister has time, like, I got time. And that's like, it really is the best example you can set. It's just from the top.
I mean, we're really busy people, right? Because, I got to look after the operations, we've got to look after the actual legals, we've got to look after everything of the business. But if we can put some time aside to look after our health, you can too.
You can too. Okay, so that's where it sits from a priority standpoint. It sounds like you've been attempting to improve your health and fitness for a long time. Like you've been doing stuff, trying things, sometimes with less success, sometimes with more success. Is there anything that you maybe regret that you've done with your fitness since you began? Or anything that, knowing now what you know, you would do differently if you had your time over?
Probably started earlier. That's always I know I've been doing it for a very long time, but I think there's never. I think you should always start when you're ready. And
I think no matter what age people start, they say that.
Exactly. And probably, it's a tough one because I think that I didn't prioritize it earlier as well. So therefore, I wasn't able to create a routine because if I probably did earlier on, now I have. But if I did earlier on, I'd probably feel even fitter. And probably focused on. I never used to do cardio, so into the Lockeroom, I started doing cardio, and I was like, oh my goodness, I never wanted to do it as well. Like even when I first started, and I remember you guys were going, hey, we're going to do cardio in the last 15 minutes. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm definitely not doing cardio. Are you joking? I used to always do strength training. And so I didn't understand why it would be useful. So now that I'm doing it, I do feel a lot fitter. And I feel like, if there was a zombie apocalypse, I'd probably run pretty fast.
You do a lot better. It doesn't cure you, but you do better. Was there anything that, maybe there wasn't, was there anyone you met, or was it like maybe Troy, your business partner, or something that made you say, okay, now it's a priority? Because at some point it wasn't, at some point it is. Can you identify anything that was like, okay, I made the shift when I became this old, or when I got this position, or?
I don't know if there was like exactly someone or like a point in time. I have I think I do remember it was September. I actually do remember the exact date now.
Yeah.
It was September 2018 actually. Yep. One of my friends, like, he actually is a PT.
Yep.
So he is really into his fitness, and he goes to me, hey, we're gonna next month, it was July, and then he goes, next month in September, from the 1st of September, we're going to go to the gym in the morning together. And then I said, and he goes, we're going to go every day.
You and him?
Yes.
Was he trying to get you as a client, or was this a friendship thing?
It's a friend, yeah. So he went to Crunch, actually.
Cool.
And so you can take a friend for free.
Yeah.
So I didn't actually go, and then he's like, you should come with me every single day.
Yeah.
At 8 a.m. This was before I became partner, and I was like, oh, that sounds really early.
Yeah.
That just sounds like, And he goes, no, we're doing it, and then we'll see how we go. So you're coming. And I was like, yeah, sure, but why not?
Yep.
Anyway, so 1st of September, that's when I first started doing it.
Did you do every day?
Every day.
Wow.
Every day.
Must have been so sore.
Yeah, and so I was so sore for the first few weeks, and he really pushed me as well. And we did all this sort of all sorts of weight training, so it was really good. I think that's when I really started, and I went, this is what I want to get into, a routine.
Yeah.
That was before that. It wasn't a routine. It
Yeah.
was just random. I'll go into the gym whenever.
Yeah, it's amazing how so often with health and fitness, it's like one decision does change people's life. They're like, I got this trainer, or I just said, you know what, I'm going to join this gym, or just try this one thing, and I'm like, and then from then on.
Yeah, and it becomes addictive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it becomes addictive.
Was it the results that you found addictive? Was it the routine and how you felt during the day? What was the thing that was like, okay, this is why I'm doing this. I'm going to keep this up?
Several things. I think the endorphins.
Yep.
Like
how you feel after?
Yeah, you feel happy. You feel like you can move through the day.
Yep.
Obviously the results. You feel fitter.
Cool.
You feel like you look better. You feel stronger. Like that's really important. And the other thing is just like the fact that you're putting something in your life that you hadn't done before. I always feel like it's almost like a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of create that, if you talk to anyone, it's like, do they go to the gym every single morning?
Yeah.
No, they don't, but you do.
Yeah, yeah.
So it makes you feel like, oh, okay, I'm doing something.
Sense of pride about it.
Yeah. So that's really good.
Yeah, amazing.
Really
it definitely, it's like, not many things are better for people's confidence, than like, hey, I'm a person that works out. It's kind of why I think like abs are so popular, is because it's like a statement when you go to the beach. Well, it's for guys. I don't think it's so popular. For guys, because it's like a statement which is like, I didn't eat all those cupcakes you ate, and it's like anyway, I think that's what it is, because there's nothing actually so incredible about them, and it's not even like you really need them to be healthy, but it's like a bit of a statement of like, hey, I avoided the thing that you didn't avoid.
Yeah.
Which just gives people like, they feel good about it.
Yeah. Just like, women going to actual big gyms.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of them are really intimidated to go to...
Do you mean like walking into a fitness first, a Crunch Fitness? Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what I used to do, and the reason I didn't continue with my friend is because when COVID happened, obviously everyone shifted to moving remotely.
Yeah.
So he started working remotely, and we never actually went to the gym together.
Yeah.
And so I decided to join a Fitness First, for example. With him, it was okay. I felt comfortable, going on to taking a squat rack, doing my, my sets or whatever it is, right? I just felt more comfortable. Then when he started working from home and I had to do it a Fitness First myself, it just felt like I wasn't sure if I was doing it right.
Yes.
And secondly, you don't know if people are just looking at you, you're just not feeling that comfortable. I remember I had one time where I had someone had left weights on the squat rack, and I was trying to take it down, and it was just way too heavy.
Yeah.
Right, and it happens.
Yeah.
And no one helped.
Yeah.
Right, and no one helped, and I'm just thinking to myself, it must look so embarrassing going like these ones, and like I swear, I almost hit myself with the weights. But it's that sort of mentality where I don't think there are enough I think it's just really difficult to go to a big gym.
Yeah.
And you don't know how, it's not comfortable for women a lot of times.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a huge part of the reason of the explosion of like boutique and smaller gyms.
Yeah.
Because the way big regular gyms are set up is like, it's like made to be self-conscious in the gym. Because there's like 0 people that help you. They help you sign up and then they never help you again.
Yeah.
And the equipment is like confusing. Even for me, I work in the gym and often I'm like looking at it, I'm like, I don't know how to use it. I just won't use it because I'm better off not making a fool of myself.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, even just, the weights are often set up for guys.
Yeah.
And they're just not set up for girls. And it can be challenging.
Yeah.
But what you said, it sounds like that getting some help, like whether with a trainer or with a friend, was the best way you found to overcome your fears.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't feel intimidated to go in and do the workouts because I know that someone's telling me if I'm doing it right or wrong.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's so many times I look in a machine and I'm like, how do you use this?
Yeah.
I remember looking at the pictures and I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, what they do is they download programs.
Yes.
And even if they have videos and stuff that tells them how to do it, it's just not the same. I remember doing some Romanian deadlifts this morning.
Yeah.
And Andy goes to me, oh, you got to, it's completely different to a normal deadlifts. And it's like the most minor movements.
Yeah.
And so if I was doing it on my own, I'd probably be doing a different deadlift to what it's been telling me because I can't see those minor movements on these videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always tell people, if you can find a way to afford it, you just want to go up the levels of affordability. So like YouTube is free. So everyone can go to the gym with YouTube in their pocket and watch some videos while they do it. And then from there it's like a class, and from there it's a personal trainer.
Yeah.
All that's kind of what we offer at Lockeroom, where it's like the whole gym is private, so you can make sure you're doing the right thing. A lot of it is just trying to pay more to decrease the chance of being embarrassed when you're at the gym and doing the wrong thing.
Once you have an injury, you can't go back.
Yeah.
Like we're getting to that age that when you break something, they don't heal by itself.
Yeah.
It'll take weeks to months for it to heal, and it doesn't operate the same way anymore. So, I think it just prevents injury.
Yeah, like it's a risk not really worth taking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for women specifically, are there any, I think maybe from all the journey you've been on now, like we're making you do cardio, making you do this, do you find that there are maybe just some preconceptions they have around fitness that you think a lot of them have wrong in terms of maybe like, women shouldn't do lots of weights, or this is going to happen, or they should just majorly focus on running, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think probably maybe a few years ago, everyone's just like, oh, for women, you should just do cardio, don't do weights, because that way you don't want to build certain muscles, like you don't want to look like really buff or whatever it is. Definitely not the right way to think. I definitely think women should be doing weights. Yeah. I've seen lots of results doing weights, and I personally love it. I think it's really good to burn fat. Yeah. If you people are looking to burn fat, and we need to build strength.
Yes.
I do think that if you just do cardio, you're not going to build the strength. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is, in some ways, it's just funny because people always gravitate to what they're good at. So I was walking to like the yoga studio, it's full of girls. You walk into the weights area, it's like full of guys. I'm like, it would be much better if they swapped. Yeah. Because guys get strong pretty easily. Yeah. But they're obviously very tight. And then women, I'm like, you're already really flexible. Yeah. It's like the last thing you need. But most people just stick to what they're good at. Yeah. Yeah. Which probably goes back to what you said, just about like not wanting to do the wrong thing when they're in there.
That's true.
Okay, and then to finish, do you have any, now that you're probably in the best place you are with your health and fitness, do you have goals or like non-negotiables you think about now looking forward into maybe like, I guess you've probably got 3 more decades doing what you're doing?
Non-negotiables. I think it's really important to actually continue to work out. Yeah. To really look after your health for the next few decades of my life. I actually brought this up the other day with a friend because I said, think about it. You see people walk on the street. There are some people who like older. You know, and you go, I don't want to be crouched down and on a walking stick. I mean, obviously there could be a chance I get an injury.
Of course, right? But in general.
I want to ensure that I would be able to still at least run or like take care of myself. You never know what's going to happen. How do you know your kids are going to take care of you? Yeah, you don't. So I think it's really important to have that strength and mobility, and in order to extend it is to continue to exercise, and to keep fit.
Yeah, I think the best ultimate goal is I think we did it here once, but we watched the 100-year-old 100-meter running race. Wow. Every year they have like a 100-meter sprint only for 100-year-olds. They don't run very fast.
100-year-olds.
100-year-olds.
How many 100-year-olds can you find?
Enough to have a final of a race. Yeah, it's on YouTube. I think it's every year.
Yeah.
Like they're not running quickly, but it's for a 100-year-old, it's pretty quick.
Great, yeah.
It's much quicker than the average, 80-year-old you see walking down the street. And I always think, I'm like, that is actually like a pretty good goal. Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't want to be, I don't want to be like, hopefully, on a wheelchair, and you have to be looked after. And I know that could possibly happen, but if I know that I can extend my fitness as long as I can, then at least, I won't be in that at that stage.
And do you think that most in your profession, so the legal profession, most quit being a partner because they're just bored and there's like nowhere else to go, or because they like their health has started to deteriorate and they're like, I just don't have the energy to do this anymore?
Yeah, I think energy levels are quite important, and I think there are people who do lose the energy because they haven't been looking after themselves. And they will quit because they feel that way. I think I know a lot of practitioners who are like that. They just, because we're a profession that will push ourselves.
Yes. Yeah.
We don't stop. So
yeah.
It's just like, oh, I want to do the best of the best. You're constantly like, oh, how many hours you have, you probably do as much as possible. But I think everything has to be taken in moderation.
Yep.
And so our work has to balance with our health, has to balance with our family, has to balance with our everything in life, really. And so I think if we can extend that as long as possible, then we can extend our ability to work as long as possible if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not forced that you have to quit because you are sick or you feel you're ill. So it's not. Yeah, I definitely think that we have to work in moderation.
Yeah.
And live in sort of moderation as well.
Do you think that this is? We can cut this out if you don't want to.
No.
Do you think that like the TV shows like Suits gets people in shape in the legal profession?
Gets people in shape.
Like, because it's like making it look really cool and like
I love this.
You could be a lawyer and like it's gonna be. I'm sure it's not exactly like, but they're all like in really good shape.
Yeah, I think it's like, do you want to be a Harvey Specter or a Lewis Litt?
Take a pick, yeah. I think so. Because that's like the cool lawyer now. Because if you look at like if you're just not in it at all, you just see like judges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know why they typically seem not very good shape judges.
Yeah.
I guess they're sitting up there for so long. But Suits makes you look like you want to be an in shape lawyer.
I do think so. I mean, a lot of people will kind of want to dress really well as well. So they'll want to have like really nice suits or really you look at so we'll go back to Suits.
Yeah.
What's the managing partner, the woman?
Jessica. Yes.
She has the most amazing outfits.
Yeah.
Amazing outfits, and she looks incredible. So then you go, oh, can I wear that?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So you will look like that, and you go, oh, can I wear that? I want to look fit so I can wear that because then you can't pull it off.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there is a bit of that from TV shows. I'm not sure if they are a good indication of sort of work-life balance.
Yes. Yes.
Which kind of contradicts what they look like.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, there's what they look like will drive a lot of people to want to look a certain way.
Dress like that, fit into it. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, especially like we're getting lawyers who are very successful lawyers who are younger now.
Yeah.
So they kind of look at what's really important. I mean, yes, you don't have to look like dressed like in $1 million kind of thing. But if you feel confident in yourself because of the way you look, you actually bring out more confidence. You can actually do your work properly, better sometimes because you're confident in court, seeing your clients. Yeah. Feeling networking perhaps, even presenting to your own team. if you look good, you feel good.
Yeah.
And you're more confident. So it helps with your profession.
Cool. Okay, well, amazing. Thanks for being on the show and looking forward to second year at the gym.
Oh, awesome. I'll be there tomorrow.
Awesome. Welcome back.
Okay, hair and makeup.
You're never going to get anyone to do anything unless they want to.
And one of the biggest fears I have about being in business, you can take one stupid moment to ruin it all.
Something in me that never wanted to go back to being the fat kid.
I didn't want that. That fear was enough for me to commit to coming to Lockeroom.
Body fat content's gone from almost 30% to about 20%.
I started to enjoy the training.
There's always a trainer who can sort of take you from whatever level you're at.
I'm seeing changes. Resentment has turned to enjoying it.
In order to work really well, you've got to take care of yourself.
Big benefit is I don't have that slump in the afternoon.
And if you do prioritise your health, you will actually see the results in your work.
I'm a big believer, if you can't lead yourself, how are you going to lead other people? How are you going to lead the team if you can't even lead yourself?